Hi everyone, welcome to episode 3 of my free-to-play journey. In this episode, I'm going to focus on the third week of the game. And this is normally a period where you need to start transition, how you spend resources, etc. So I'll talk in depth about what are the things that you need to look out for in kind of the third week. I will also briefly talk about light and dark characters and what light and dark characters should you go for, because it just so happens there's a light and dark banner right now in the server, so I'll just take this opportunity to talk about it. Alright, so as usual, let's start off with a bit of status update. Right now I am in stage 1436. Competitive wise, in my server there is this VIP 10 who's kind of leading the pack. So he is kind of top in both of the stage progression and also in dimension, but I am in a solid second place behind him. There's quite a bit of a healthy gap between me and the rest of the people in the server as well. So as you can see in dimensions, I am 2 stages behind kind of the top player here. However, I'm whole 12 stages above everyone else, and similarly in stage progression, I'm about half a chapter behind this top player. However, I am almost a whole chapter in front of everyone. So there's a healthy gap between me and the rest of the server, which is very promising. We just had a Galactic War that finished recently, and unsurprisingly, I guess I came second in this war, losing out to this VIP 10. So once again, I'm happy with that because my goal is always to just break into top 4, to get the rewards. So I'm very happy that I'm able to do that. Similarly, my other goal normally is in the cross server in order to break into top 32 in order to get once again this Divine Stone as the reward. In the cross server war that just happened, I managed to go into top 16 here. So once again, it's promising, right? It seems like I am doing well competitively, both in my own server and also in against other servers. So which is a very good sign and exactly what I'm looking for in a new account. So that's great. Now, kind of because I am kind of now in chapter 1436, there's a big milestone in chapter 1440 because you would then be able to unlock Star Wheel, which you would need Divine Stone to summon, or you can also use diamonds to summon. Now it's a very expensive way of summoning, but it's a way of guaranteeing you any knight of your choice, because there is a pity after 70 summons where you are able to pick a knight. Well, actually you pick a knight first, and then after 70 summons you are guaranteed that knight, kind of at pity. So that is very good, but it's very expensive because every single summon costs 500 diamonds. So that's if you actually want to guarantee a pity summon after 70 rolls, then you actually need 35k diamonds, which is a lot. And that's kind of why I'm starting to save up over diamonds. And I hugely recommend anyone who's kind of in chapter 13 or 14-ish to start conserving of your resources and to start setting up your diamond in anticipation of the Star Wheel, because there's 2 knights that you definitely want in Star Wheel. The first knight you would want is Sea Dragon Cannon. Sea Dragon Cannon is very good for his third skill, which basically allow you to control an enemy at the start of battle. This is really good because it interrupts other people's opening skills. So let's say you are facing opponents across canvas or Potomi, you are able to interrupt their opening skill. And on top of that, you also let them attack their own allies. So, you kind of get 2 benefits in the price of 1. So Sea Dragon Cannon is very useful. Sea Dragon Cannon, because of this ability to neutrify opening attacks, he will be able to carry you so much further even at a single 5-star copy. So that's kind of one knight you definitely need to pull. Another knight you definitely need to pull is Poseidon. Poseidon is very useful for, once again, kind of the third skill, which is opening skill, which is at the start of battle, you can have up to 5 seconds where you bounce off all damage and he doesn't take any damage. Once again, super useful in order to counter certain knights. The main one is Dante. Dante normally consumes his own HP in order to do more damage. However, you are then bouncing back this extra damage to Dante. So Dante is taking double the damage. So very good counter against Dante. Also very good counter against Taurus Aldebaran at early stages, because Taurus Aldebaran normally link up with the knight with the lowest HP. However, Poseidon's opening reflect not just the damage but also harmful effect. So Poseidon's actually able to neutrify Taurus Aldebaran's bounce lock on as well. So that's also very good. Um, Poseidon is a very nice character, so you can actually go all out to build him completely. I only recommend a 5-star copy for Cannon, but for Poseidon, I think you can either go for a 5-star copy just for a certain counter situations, or you can completely fully build him as well, which is also fun. That's really your own personal choice. But regardless, because you need to summon those 2 knights, you need to make sure you have kind of like almost 70k diamonds just to prepare for the worst case scenario where you need to summon both of them after 70 rolls each. So this is very, very expensive, and that's kind of why I strongly recommend kind of from chapter 13, 14 onwards, you start saving up all of your diamonds and do not use them for anything else. And kind of from this point onwards, also you will stop summoning using diamonds in your normal banners. Now, if you have any summoning stone, obviously use them, but do not use diamonds for any normal summons anymore. All of your diamonds should either be going into the star wheels, or it should be going into accessories, because you will also be able to unlock red accessory after chapter 15 or 16. So you also want to save up your diamonds for your accessories as well. So definitely stop summoning in your normal summons using diamonds. You can see here I am actually stuck in terms of my level, because I am not able to progress my Leo to past level 160 because I have actually reached the maximum level, and that's because I don't have enough fire food in order to power him up. However, even though this is a bottleneck in terms of my level progression, I am not going to use any diamonds, because I know it's much more useful for me to pull doing Star Wheel or for one of the red accessories. So I'm just going to naturally let my food come and to progress my knights that way, and I'm not going to spend any extra diamond investment onto them. So very important thing to know. Now, I already talked about kind of Poseidon being very good character, and also Seadra and Cannon, you can definitely get at least 1 copy. But what about other knights? Should you be saving up your petals, etc.? Now, I got my Poseidon early, not through not through Star Wheel, but through this banner, because it just so happened we have a returning banner on Poseidon where I am able to do 60 summons in order to guarantee him. So that's kind of what I'm doing. However, my plan was to build Poseidon more as a way to counter certain knights rather than fully build him. And that's kind of why I'm start saving up on my petals again. So you can see here, I have 40 petals, but I'm not going to summon. I'm just going to keep them there in anticipation of a new knight in the future. Now, you can probably take a look at some of the resources online. There's something called App, which basically shows all of the future Light and Dark characters. You can take a look at all of the descriptions to see which one do you like. I have also made a guide previously on YouTube about which light and dark character to choose, so you can also take a look at that. It may be slightly outdated, so I may do a refresh version in the future, but once again, use those different resources to help you to understand what light and dark character do you really want to build. Another thing to potentially take into consideration is that you normally want to summon a new knight rather than one of the old knight, and that's because whenever a new knight is released, you also get those growth packs where you get rewards as you level them up. So this is also another reason why I didn't bother with Poseidon, because the Poseidon's new knight event has already finished. So if I level up him high, I don't actually get any extra benefit on top of that. Whereas if I actually get a new knight, you can see that with just 2 copies, I'm able to get 10 Divine Stone, which are very valuable, etc. So it's also a good idea to save up on all of your petals or Divine Stones on one of the new knights. And once that new knight is out, then try to pump as much resource as possible into him and try to get level him up as fast as possible to claim all of the rewards